Welcome to another Tableau tutorial video. Today we're going to be looking at Pareto charts. Now the data that we're going to be using is cause of death. So we're going to bring the cause of death to the columns, and then we're going to bring deaths to the rows, and it's going to generate a bar chart. Now the first thing we need to do is to sort the causes by the number of deaths. There's a couple ways you can do it. You've got the sort options here, the descending and ascending, or you can click here, click on sort. Now this is the newer version of Tableau. So if you have an older version, the sort box is going to look a little bit different, but the key is you're going to want to come and select field, and you're going to select deaths is already calculated, sum, the aggregate is already identified as sum, and we want to do it in descending order. Okay. Now the next thing that we really want to do is we want to do a running total so we can understand of the total, where do these different causes fit in. So we're going to come again up to sum of deaths, come down to the bottom where it says quick table calculation. We're going to do running total. Okay. And what we want now though is we want to take that calculation and we want to understand where is the 80% of the total. So come back up here to the sums deaths pill, the drop down arrow. Now we're going to do edit the table calculation. So we've got the running total, that's good. Now there's another option down here called add secondary calculation. So we're going to click on that. And now we have another menu expand. And in the secondary calculation, it's not difference from. We want the percent of total. Again, it's across the table. Close that out. And now we can see that after all of the categories are added up, we're at 100% of the different deaths, which is what you would expect. Now what we're looking for is we want to see where the 80% mark is. Okay, it's cancer, or one of these different types of cancer. Now, we could just leave it right at that and you could quickly see. What I like to do is you often see this type of chart is expressed as a line. And then we also can add a reference line so we know where the 80% is. So under line value, come over here instead of average, we're going to make that a constant number. We're going to make this the 80th percentile. Okay? And now you know where the 80th percentile is as you come across. Well, this is good. What I like to see though is where the deaths actually line up. So we're going to bring the deaths to the rows. You'll see two charts. It looks a little confusing. You can see some deaths here and some deaths here. This little triangle, this little delta sign, that means it's a table calculation. So we actually want to come down here. We want to change this from line to bar. And I keep saying we, but it's really just me that wants to do this. Now we want to merge them together, so we're going to right click on deaths. We're going to click dual axis. That'll bring them together. Usually when you have a dual axis, I often synchronize, but that's not going to work in this case because you have deaths in millions and percentages. What we want to do now is what I'd like to do is to make it a little bit easier to identify where the cutoff is we're going to create a calculated field. But before we do that, we're actually going to cheat a little and come up to the sum deaths with the table calculation. We're going to say edit in shelf. You can see the whole formula pops up. So we're just going to select the whole thing, Control C, and enter to get out of there. Then under dimensions, we're going to create a calculated field. And we're just going to call this top 80%. Right? Make this a little bigger so you can see. It's going to create an if statement. If, and this is the formula that we were just, this cell, right? If that whole value is greater than 80%, so if we've already hit the 80% and then we're out here in the tail, then we're going to call this remaining. maybe, if I can spell it. Else, it's going to be in the top 80. Okay. We're actually going to drop this into we want to change this to make the bars change color. So we're going to drop this under color. And now you can see that the top 80% are orange and everything else is blue. So you can quickly jump to where the top 80% is. And just to test it, you can see heart diseases at 71%. So yeah, that's in the top 80%. And cancer, adding cancer bumps it up to 84%. Let me show you something else. Let's change it from cause name to states. Where are the most states? And we'll just get rid of the cause, drag that down. All right, so now it looks a little screwy. So what we need to do now is come under states, and we're going to just put that in descending order. Oh, because I have two measures, it doesn't know which one to use. So come under sort, manual sort, no. We're going to do field, and we're going to do deaths. We're going to do sum, descending. Okay. So now you can see the curve that people often associate with Pareto, the nice curve, so that at the last state, we're at 100% again, 100% of the total. And now we can see, let's see here, this is Pennsylvania's at 67, so where we cross the line, Virginia is 80.07, so it's just on the other side of 80, so it doesn't get shaded. But Tennessee, let's see if we can get that one. Tennessee is just underneath it, so that's 78, so that's showing as in the top 80. Enjoy, and as always, please subscribe. Let me know what you think.